Hey everybody, welcome back to we're now episode 9 of the Creepy Cascadia podcast. You're here with Sammy, one of your hosts, and my super Christmas Kringle husband looking fella.
Oh, don't make me blush.
With the beard, with the beautiful beard. Yeah, so I'm Sammy, that's Adam.
Yep.
And we are here today, bringing you all the Christmas info. You know what?
What?
We're only a few weeks away from Christmas.
We are. It feels like Thanksgiving was like just last week. I was almost like, did everyone enjoy their turkey? But I think this is our second episode, or this will be their second episode after Thanksgiving. So.
It is, yep. And we literally just got our Halloween decorations taken down this past week.
Yep.
Yep.
That's how our household rolls. Like,
yeah.
Go straight from Halloween to Christmas around Thanksgiving weekend. A little later this year, but that's fine.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Happy little accidents.
Yep.
Yeah, but we are getting our Christmas tree. We got a little Christmas tree to put up because we have a pretty nice big Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And we didn't want Winnie to destroy it.
Yeah, we spent some decent money on our real nice fake Christmas tree because we knew it'd probably last us a few years. We wanted it to look real nice.
Yep.
And then we got cats.
Or
we got a second cat.
I was going to say.
We got a kitten. Let's clarify.
Jaxie left the tree alone. All he wanted to do was lay underneath it. We got so many good pictures. But Winnie, on the other hand, not sure. But so far, she's been okay. She, has tried to attack it a few times, but hasn't, jumped in it or anything yet. Yeah. But literally, this is just the first full day we've had it up.
I think that's what you're most worried about is her, jumping up into the tree.
Yeah.
Toppling it, doing something crazy. Whereas I'm more worried we're going to have a Christmas Vacation situation on our hand where she's going to chew through a wire and electrocute herself.
I shouldn't laugh at that. But I literally am just one of the favorite, that movie has so many funny parts in it, but when he's like, do you smell that? And he's like, fried pussycat. You serious, Clark?
Does the outline of the cat, spread eagle under the chair? Which never made sense to me unless, you think about it as, the cat gets electrocuted and, when you see people being, electrocuted in, cartoons, all their limbs go, way out, and they're like, ah,
Well, I mean, that's why they strap them down when they used to kill people via the electric chair.
Oh, for sure, right?
Strapped in, yeah. Flailing limbs. That's why people got hurt when they were doing shock therapy, because when they first did it, they weren't, tying them down or anything.
Oh.
So, they were flailing about.
For some reason, I always thought they tied them down because they were prisoners on death row about to be killed. That's
my last chance to get out of here. I gotta take my shot. No.
Flip the switch. Pop it off their heads. I'm out. I mean, it never made sense to me. It always made sense to me that it was purely to hold them down, so they couldn't escape. Not that, they would sit there and, wildly jerk their limbs.
Why? I don't know why. Wildly jerk their limbs sounds so dirty.
It does. Upon retrospect, yes.
He was wildly jerking his limbs.
Yep.
So...
Yeah, don't take that mental image to bed.
No. I mean, unless that's your thing.
Yeah. Just one last time.
Jesus. We're off to a great start.
Mm-hmm.
But Christmas is just around the corner. I mean, it's literally we have next weekend free, and then we have plans. A Christmas party, and then it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas
weekend. Yeah,
how the hell did that happen?
2022 still has some of that, COVID. The year just moves fast, I think.
But also slow.
Mm-hmm. So it's I mean, we're trying to break free out of the COVID 2020, 2022, black hole of time. We're on the event horizon trying to escape.
Yep.
Yeah.
So far, no luck.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got some of our Christmas stuff up. I plan on putting the rest up this week. Hopefully, if the weather stops raining, I can get our Christmas lights up, because literally Christmas lights are like my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Seeing a Christmas light is just like, I don't know what it is. It just makes me so happy. Like,
a single Christmas light.
Just a single Christmas light. I realized when I said that, I'm like, that sounds funny. Christmas lights. Like, I love Christmas lights. I'm sad that we can't leave our tree up, like, in the middle of the night. Like, leave our tree on because we have to watch Winnie. But I love seeing Christmas lights. Like, when you wake up in the morning and you come upstairs and it's still dark outside and there's, like, Christmas lights. It just makes your day better. Lights are twinkling. Yeah. Multicolored lights, though. Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
And of course...
we even, like, drive around, go look at, like, decorations. There's, like, the Facebook page that, like, tracks some of them. That's usually pretty good.
Literally it popped up on my Facebook as, like, groups you may want to join. And it's, like, the Facebook page for our area that has Christmas light routes and things like that. So, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, growing up, it was my... grandparents' town. They had like Candy Cane Lane, Santa Claus Lane. Like, it was literally like almost every street, every house on certain streets
decorated.
Had decorations themed for their street.
Yeah.
And yeah, like everybody would drive around, like, and go from like street to street. You know. And, but it's funny because, like, growing up, like, we didn't put up lights. I don't really remember putting up lights at our house.
We didn't either.
Maybe once or twice.
Like, not on the outside, which is why I think I like them so much, is because I always wanted lights, but, like, my dad was never going to do it. And, yeah.
I mean, it's
a waste of money.
Well, it's all. I mean, I don't want to get up on the roof and try to like attach them. Like, if I got them attached, they're up there all year, and it's just a matter of turning on the electricity or not. Yeah. But that's how, like, you break a bulb and then they don't turn on, and now it's snowy, and you're like, yeah, I just don't. Yeah. So. Well,
I don't put them up on our roof. I just put them along our trim and stuff on the front. Yeah. The first year, I think I put them up over the garage eaves. But this last year, I'm like, that's too much work. Yeah. You got to get on the ladder, and I don't want to do that. Yeah. but I put them on, like, the bushes and stuff. Yeah. But, you know, another great thing about Christmas is Christmas movies. Yeah. I really want to watch that new Christmas Story Christmas. Yeah. Because it has the original Ralphie. Yeah. Yeah. But.
Bringing back the OG.
That's right. You know he was an elf, too?
Yes, I did know that. Okay. He plays another elf. Mm-hmm. It's like
Peter Billingsley is his real name.
Yeah, of the named elves, you had Bob Newhart.
Oh yeah.
Played like the dad elf who raises Buddy, Will Ferrell's character, and then Peter Billingsley plays like an elf that like has to react to like Will Ferrell being gigantic. You know, yeah.
You know, off topic, but that's what we always do. So, you know when Buddy he goes through, like, the Candy Cane Forest or whatever, and he's leaving to go to New York? Yeah. And a narwhal is there? Yeah. I literally did not know. I thought narwhals were fake. And me and all of my friends did until one of them had their kid, and they joked about making her a narwhal for Christmas. Or not Christmas, for Halloween. Okay. And we were like, her husband was like, they're real. And she's like, no, they're not. And so we looked it up, and she like texted us, and she's like, did you guys know that narwhals are real? And I'm like, no, they're not. They fucking are.
They are, yeah.
They are. Yeah. Yeah. So there's your fun fact about me being So yeah, narwhals are real. Who knew?
Yeah, I mean, hey, pretty sure I knew they were real.
They don't look like, real. They look fake.
They do look fake.
It's like a unicorn walrus.
Yeah, but like, I think it's because, walruses are already a thing. Mm-hmm. Whales are just weird looking in general. Yeah. Like,
it sounds
the fact that you have, like, you already have unicorns They're like mythological.
I was like, wait a minute, unicorns aren't real. I'm not that dumb. I know those aren't real.
Well, I'm saying they're not real now, but that's who's to say that they weren't extinct, right? But like at some point in the past, like there were horses with unicorns. I mean, like no one's found like a horse bone with a giant horn or anything, but
well, nobody's found Bigfoot bones, but
yeah. But that's kind of the thing, right? Like it's you either find the bone or you find a fossil, right? Like, so it's like I've seen like if we designed animals based off their bones, like how everything would look so weird, right?
Yeah.
Like we do it for dinosaurs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Turns out they went from being like scaly lizard things to now they're like
bird-like.
Bird-like, yeah, more bird-like.
Want to see my pecker?
But I mean, it's just like, right?
Can you imagine a giant, like, bird-like T-Rex being like, want to see it?
Not really, because I don't think a T-Rex's voice would be that high. I associate it with
How do you know? We thought they were scaly, and now they're birds. Who's to say they didn't have little high-pitched voices?
I think it's generally the size of the throat or like air hole, right? Like
Everything
like
sounds dirty.
The bigger thing is, like the bassier it is and the thinner it is, the high pitched it is. That's just like acoustics, right?
I don't know.
I feel like I'm just making up random general knowledge BS stuff so far this episode. Like, you didn't know narwhals are real? Like, unicorns could have been real. They're just extinct, you know?
Bigfoot, I think Bigfoot's real.
Same for dragons. Like, there's so many things that, like, you know, it's like, they're like, oh, like...
They had to come from somewhere.
Yeah, either people's imaginations or, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's like... But yeah, going back to the horns, you know, it's like rhinos. Like, we're killing off rhinos, you know? Eventually, like, elephant tusks are, like, poached, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many weird things. In my mind, it's not far-fetched that, like, humans hunted unicorns to extinction or something. They're like...
Fair.
You know?
That's fair.
So...
Yeah. But anyways, back to Christmas movies.
Yeah, Christmas movies, you know.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What's your all-time favorite Christmas movie?
Shit.
I literally almost went, what's your favorite Christmas movie? From, like, Scream, what's your favorite scary movie?
Oh,
that's where my mind went.
The ghost face voice.
Yep, that's where my mind went.
Yeah. No, it's... Man, you know, that's hard. It's like... It's all time. I think it's changed, right? Like, I think, like, different parts of my life, you know?
Yeah.
Christmas Story is definitely, like, classic in my mind.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I grew...
It's one of my favorites.
That was, like, teenage years, early college years, like, you know, they do the 24-hour...
marathon on, like, TBS or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like TNT or TBS. One of the like, cable channels is like, you know what movie sounds real good, you know?
24 hours. I remember at one time it was, like, on Thanksgiving, and I remember watching it at my grandma's house, and we were all just, like, cracking up because it's such a funny movie.
We watched it at, like, youth group in middle school or something. I want to say something like that.
Yeah.
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 Like the fudge, you know?
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, there's so many, like, quote, you'll shoot your eye out, you know? The kids in the snowsuits running around, like, that's how we felt all the time in our snowsuits, like...
That makes sense, because, like, I didn't grow... I don't even think I've ever owned a snowsuit before, because we don't need them, you know? Generally, you don't need them around here.
Yeah, but it's very real in the movie, like, they're hard... The onesie snowsuits...
That your parents probably, like, bundled you up in?
Yeah.
To send you to school?
Yeah. Because it's, like, straight up, like, protects your bottoms, protects your tops, keeps you insulated, like, keeps your heat in. And then you hit 6th grade and you're too cool for that and you just want to wear, like, a jacket with your jeans and freeze. Like, that's...
I literally am just picturing you as, like, a kid being all bundled up, just looking so cute.
Yeah, if you want another cute picture, I definitely got my tongue stuck on frozen metal It was like inside our own house. There was frost on the door.
Oh my god!
It was like the screen door. So the screen door had a glass pane on it as well, and the metal like rim. The metal rim had like frost on it, and we were like, "Oh, I'm licking the frost off the glass." And
I
then
triple
my tongue,
dare ya!
we didn't even like try to. It like just happened that like my tongue happened to hit the cold metal, and I was like, I'm stuck. You know, I was like totally like the movie, like panic sets in, everything like, and you go from like I'm stuck to like what happened is like. On super cold days, we would like wait in our house to see our school bus. We took the school bus in. Bus would go past our street to like, there were only like 2 more streets after our street. So once it passed, we had only a limited time to like get out, run up the street, cross the street, and get to where now when the bus comes back, it picks us up.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's how it worked. Was we would line up along like the mailboxes or near the mailboxes that are like the opposite side of the dead end street. So
did you do this before school?
Yeah, we were waiting for the school bus, and noticed all the frost like because we had the door open so we could see, and that's when we saw the frost and we were looking at, and it went from like I'm stuck to like the bus just went by.
Oh my god!
We gotta go. And I think it was like my older brother just like slammed threw the door open and it ripped and like like I was like I didn't get the bandage like the kid in the movie, but my tongue definitely was like hurting and bled a little bit. And and there was like the top layer of my tongue was like still on the screen door, like all super gross.
Disgusting.
Yeah. So
yeah.
So that was one of it. Yeah.
So I had never watched A Wonderful Life until we got together, and we watched it like on Christmas Eve one time.
Yeah.
And that's a very like.
Yeah, and I say that's my all-time favorite now. But I don't think I ever watched the whole thing. Like it would always come on.
Catch bits and pieces.
Would be at like my grandma's. They'd be watching it because it's a really old movie. It's from like the 30s or 40s, right? It's like Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so It's a Wonderful Life is like super old, but it's like I never watched the whole thing until like I was 30.
Oh,
like
okay.
I don't even know exactly when I watched the whole thing. What I did, I was like, this movie's amazing. Like I never realized like the storytelling aspect of it all, right? Like
right.
If you come in at the end, like you don't understand like the character they have developed.
Yeah.
In Jimmy Stewart's character. And so so when I watched it for the first time, like all the way through, I was like, holy crap, this movie's so good, right? Like, so now I say It's a Wonderful Life is my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
I definitely know there are people have like strong feelings about here's where so I like It's a Wonderful Life, and I'm gonna take a minute to hit on Elf.
What?
People love Elf, and I'm not like I can tolerate it. But when people are like, "Oh my god, we have to watch Elf," I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna split." Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I had my head out.
I don't know what it is. If it's just like I get the idea of it, but it's straight up like
not one of those movies you're like, I have to watch it every year.
Do not have to watch it every year.
Don't want to watch it every year.
Like, yeah, like I said, when somebody else wants to watch it, it's like tolerable, and it's like, and it's not because of Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know. It's like too over the top Will Ferrell for me.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, I like Elf, but it's not one of those ones that I'm like, oh my god, Elf, like, I'll watch it if it's on, but it's not one of my ones that I'm gonna, if I'm, like, really wanting to watch a holiday movie, that's not one of the ones I'm gonna put on.
Yeah. But I do know it's a favorite of a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, tons of people love Elf.
Tons of people love Elf.
I like it. I don't love it, I don't dislike it, I like it. Like, it's a good one sometimes if you just need a, like, background noise, or you're doing something. I
like Bob Newhart in it. Yeah, it's a weird, like, James Caan plays his dad, or it's just like it's like you have the over the top. It's like the sugar on the spaghetti or whatever. Like it's love of sugar, right?
Yeah.
Is like I don't know.
Maybe
just
I'm part elf.
Throws me off. Yeah. And it's like super creeper. Like I'm pretty sure he like was it like Zooey Deschanel plays the love interest.
Yes, and he's like listening to her sing in the shower
at work.
Yeah.
Like who showers at work?
Somebody that had their water turned off.
And that's the storyline in the movie.
I'm pretty sure
she's so broke.
Had her water turned off. Yeah.
Okay, then you're you're struggling. You're
First
struggling
of all, I want to know, why does
a
mall have a shower locker room?
Well, that's what I never understood that. Even like a big store like Macy's or whatever they're trying to be or whatever.
Maybe there's like a gym in there that we just don't know about. I know some places do have gyms, and they have showers and stuff.
Yeah, like a YMCA has a shower, or most gyms, because, generally people...
I mean, saying that, my work has a shower and locker room. Because we have a gym downstairs. A very small, workout area. So I guess it's not that weird.
Yeah, my work has showers, but that's because it's, if people get, contamination or, super, There's even the weird hazardous chemical ones,
Yeah.
If you go do a certain kind of work and you're gonna get covered in crap, they have showers for you to go through. They even have clean, the dirty side, clean side, all that type of stuff. But yeah, it's
that's fair.
Outside of that,
yeah,
I'm thinking the average mall bathroom doesn't have a shower and isn't that clean.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't want to be in it,
so with those shoes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's so he's a creeper listening to her sing. There's I don't know, just so much of
Hey, speaking of singing in the shower, I'm pretty sure I'm a Disney princess. Because I was literally in the shower singing and both the cats came in there and sat and just meowed a couple of times. Didn't you say you heard a meowing? Or one, was making noise?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's either that or they're shut the fuck up, Mom. God!
It's it's when you got, a husky or whatever, and, they hear, that off-tune, howl, and they decide to, echo it, or...
are you saying I was off-tune?
I'm not saying you're off-tune. You sing really good. When you're singing in the shower, it's great. So...
I feel like you're just saying
I'm sure the cats are, listening, you know. It's weird, they have their own water bowls. Winnie has a weird obsession with, water. She doesn't like it splashed at her. She doesn't like it flicked at her. But if you're showering...
She's obsessed with the shower.
Afterwards, she's obsessed with the shower. And she wants to, when you're done, she wants to go and, lick up the little puddle,
Jax does it, too.
Whatever the droplets, along the base of the shower. They fucking love it. It's ridiculous.
Jaxie goes in there and licks the top of my, scrub that's sitting on the floor of the shower. And I'm like, what are you two doing?
Yeah.
Maybe we should put a water bowl downstairs for them. Sometimes I think we should, but...
Maybe. We have plenty of bowls. But...
We do. Yeah. Well...
We'll just go to the toilet. We'll just keep going to the shower they won't even care.
They will, because they have water up here, and Winnie will still, or Jaxie will sometimes drink out of the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Christmas movies.
Christmas movies. So what's your favorite? I mean, I know you love Christmas Vacation.
I do. Mine, it's hard because I just am... There's so many that I really like. Christmas Vacation is one of my favorites. Christmas Story, also one of my favorites. The original cartoon Grinch is one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
That's a classic one. The Holiday... I would say The Holiday is probably...
Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet.
Yes, that is also one of my favorites. Those are my top 4, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really hard to pick because, they're different things, right? If I want a heartwarming one, I watch The Holiday. If I want a funny one, I watch The Grinch or Christmas Story. If I want, the nostalgia feels, I watch The Grinch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. But... We are a creepy Cascadia, so I do love a good Christmas movie, but I'm also a spooky bitch, and I love horror movies.
Yeah.
So when the two come together, it's chef's kiss.
I recently saw a preview it's a movie called The Mean One.
The Mean One?
It's called The Mean One.
I haven't seen a preview
and
for
it's the Grinch if he were like the horror movie monster.
Ooh.
So like him sneaking around, killing people, like, and it's a parody, so like everything is like just slightly off. Like they don't ever call him the Grinch.
Oh, I see.
Because I think of copyright. Mm-hmm. And it's like Newville, not Whoville.
You know what? Infringe on Dr. Seuss, because he was not a good person. Well, have you ever watched Krampus? Did you ever watch that Krampus movie?
No, I never watched the Krampus movie.
With Adam Scott?
Yeah. I heard of it. I know some people liked it. Yeah.
I liked it. It was different. But
Krampus, when I was in Germany, I understood. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Krampus is like a thing over there, right?
It is, and it's actually getting bigger over here. So tonight we're actually talking about creepy Christmas legends from like different countries basically.
Or cultures.
Cultures. A lot of them are European.
Yeah.
So
scare them kids.
Well, it turns out Krampus isn't the only spooky legend associated with Christmas. Now, for me personally, Santa is the creepiest of them all. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why.
The jolly fat man.
A big dude who watches children while they sleep and decides who is good enough to get a gift and like a bright costume disguise that is meant to attract children. That has grooming and God complex written all over it. And any adults in costumes that are targeted toward children have always creeped me out. Santas, clowns, Easter Bunny, Chuck E. Cheese. That was a hard pass for me. I don't like that. It like freaks me out.
And the whole premise is like go sit on their lap.
Yes! Weirdest fucking thing ever. You should not take your children to some random mall Santa and be like, hey, you know what? If you're a good girl, you can sit on Santa's lap. That is like so weird in my mind and so dirty. Like,
yep. Stay away from strangers.
Except for 99%
this one.
Of the time. For this one that's dressed up and will give you candy if you're a good little boy or girl. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've seen Bad Santa with Billy Bob Thornton. It's like that one. Ever since then, I'm like, yeah, mall Santas are definitely skeezy. Like, you know.
Even just like, I don't know. It just feels, it's weird to me to like, the whole premise of it is weird. I don't like, again, people in costumes I don't like.
Yeah.
And again, having them sit on your lap and tell you what they want for Christmas just feels not good for me.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Ooh. That reminds me, another holiday favorite classic.
Yeah.
People are like, Miracle on 34th Street, right? Like the letters to Santa and the guy who thinks he really is Santa.
Wasn't he really Santa though?
I think that was the what if of the whole movie was like.
I've never seen the original one. I've only seen the one with
at the end. You're like, was he or wasn't he? Because he like, if I remember right, he gives like the mom like a gift at the end
that she had wanted as a
child, and that was like the tip off that like he was the real Santa.
Yeah,
right.
I've seen the one with like Mara Wilson. I haven't seen the real one.
Yeah, it's like the original 90s one.
Yeah,
right?
90s. Yeah.
It's totally like an earlier
original one with
is
it Katharine Hepburn that plays in it, or one of those big name actresses from back in the day?
Yeah, it was a gal who I always remember her from like I think John Wayne. Like she did
Catherine O'Hara.
Catherine O'Hara, yes.
Not the Catherine O'Hara that's Beetlejuice Catherine O'Hara. Because her name's Catherine O'Hara.
Okay.
Moira Rose is Catherine O'Hara.
Okay.
But this is a different Catherine O'Hara, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not pretty sure that it's a different... I think her name is Catherine O'Hara as well. I know that they're not the same person.
Yeah.
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 But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Mall Santas. Now, I'm pretty sure Santa originated with like Saint Nick, right? Like this idea of this guy who gave toys or gifts to. Again, I think it's German or it's like European again.
Well, I mean, yeah, because everybody that lives here is not from here.
Well, yeah, right. So all of our legends and stuff come from like when people came over from the old country, you know?
From the old country, yep. Ah, the old country. Well, So in that spirit, I want to talk about some creepy figures.
Okay.
That are present.
More than just Krampus?
More than just Krampus.
Okay.
But we're going to start with the big one, which is Krampus. And I'm actually really excited because I did not piece together that you lived in Germany when you were in the army, so you probably have, some knowledge of them, or of Krampus, or at least you know about Krampus.
Yeah.
So, Krampus is of Germanic and Austrian origin, and he is basically the anti-Santa. Mm-hmm. He is often described as a horned goat-man hybrid, sometimes with fangs, claws, cloven hooves, furry. He's also depicted as having a long tongue, which I'm sure makes him popular with the ladies. Or fellas,
I think they made a joke of that in the movie, if I remember right.
Probably. He's also just said to carry chains and a satchel or sack that he uses to lasso and snatch kids.
Yeah.
Who are naughty.
Yeah, he goes after the bad kids, right?
Yep.
Like, Santa helps good kids, bad kids get the lump of coal, wah, wah, oh well.
Yep. But in this case, a lump of coal is actually... So, to just go further into it, his name comes from the German word Krampen, which translates to claw in English. And he's actually part of Norse mythology. So, in Norse mythology... That's really hard to say.
Norse mythology.
In Norse mythology, Krampus is the son of Hel, who is the god of the underworld. And originally, Krampus actually wasn't associated with Christmas, but he was lumped into it with the spread of Christianity, despite certain religions trying to phase him out because he's evil. He's part of Norse mythology, and pagans and all those evil people.
Oh yeah, I mean the whole horned goat head thing just screams like pagan, satanic ritual stuff.
Demons.
Yeah.
Now, while I don't agree with his tactics, I can understand Krampus a little bit. His role includes beating or kidnapping naughty children. He is said to either beat, eat, or drag the little scamps back to hell with him.
Okay.
And I don't condone violence at all. I'm just saying, I can understand where he's coming from, because sometimes kids can be dicks. And I'm not saying that I would do any of that. I'm just saying, there have been moments when we're at like a restaurant or a grocery store or Target and kids are acting a fool. Wildin'. And I'm just saying, I wouldn't have been mad if old Krampy had showed up to put a little bit of the fear of Krampus into him.
Well, probably, in all honesty, it's probably like some kids went missing and like their parents were like,
must have been Krampus.
Like, yeah, I think Satan got him or some demon got him, and
you
go do a thing or whatever.
1900s were wildin'. Like, for real.
Yeah.
People put their kids up for sale.
Or like some animal marks near your house, and you're like, well, now I can off my kid.
The wolf got him.
Yep.
Maybe it was a werewolf. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, people... I feel like a lot of people are worried about, like, lives of babies these days, but, like, legitimately, like, back in the day, like, people would just leave their kids in the woods. If there were, like, deformities, they screamed too long, They
couldn't afford them.
They had colic, couldn't afford... You know what I mean? Like, it's like... I feel like we understand cherish life a little now in modern times. Like, despite what people say that some people don't. You know what I mean? But I think, it's people like killing deformed children. But yeah, this is very...
Reporting them in sanitariums, to never be spoken of again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's like, So Krampus, I understand. And so now it's, I think people went the other way. They were like, let's reward good kids.
Yeah.
Versus like
and scare the shit out of bad kids.
Yeah, right.
Now, I say all this as an adult, but I can say in like all likelihood, I probably would have been a victim of Krampus as a kid because I was a little shit from time to time. What little kid isn't?
Your dad was mean too, right? Like,
well, true. There was if I had been living in that time and my dad was my dad, I probably would have been murdered and said that it was Krampus. Like, let's just be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Now, as legend has it, Krampus and Saint Nick actually worked together. They would show up on December 5th, which is called, I listened to the pronunciation, Krampusnacht,
Okay.
which very poorly translates, in my case, to Krampus night.
Yeah.
And you would either get a gift from Santa or a visit from Krampus.
Yeah.
The popularity of Krampus actually began to grow over the last 100 years internationally, with festivals and activities dedicated to Krampus popping up all over the world. Parades of people dressed like Krampus, or Krampuslauf, or Krampus Run.
Yeah.
Where drunk men dressed as the Horned Devil run through the streets as a way to scare a kid. Not saying we should bring this back, but I kind of want to do that.
Well, this is why it's back. Yeah, it's like single. All the people who have to listen to kids whining.
Yeah, and we don't have kids, but I just want to scare kids.
Yeah, it's like
it's funny.
There's a reason there's that like that old like used condoms commercial where like the kid wants candy. I think it's from like Europe or whatever.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. And like
kids like throwing a fit, and the dad's just kind of like standing there looking awkward,
all so defeated. Like, fuck, this is my life.
Yeah,
yeah, and it's like a condom commercial.
Yeah,
yes, I've seen it.
Yes. It's like yeah. all the people who think that's pretty funny, Krampusnacht.
Yeah, you should be pronouncing these because you lived in Germany. Did you learn any German when you lived over there?
I tried. I was pretty bad at it. Technically, I took some college courses, and I think I had my buddy write my final paper who knew way more German.
What?
Yeah, because I was struggling so hard. Like, I would have failed if I hadn't have enlisted his help.
Adam Langbein.
Plagiarism. My whole life is a lie!
I just can't. I don't even know what to think.
My buddy George knew a lot of German. Like, he was way more. I only ever learned, like, McDonald's German or, like, being able to get around German.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And as we said before, he's actually, it's not surprising since he's such an imposing figure that he made his way into the horror genre. There are quite a few movies besides Krampus, the movie, that feature him.
I mean, were there any before that original? Because I feel like that's when I first heard of it, other than being in Germany.
You know,
it's like that movie came out in like the 2000s, if I remember right.
It did. It was like late 2000s. It was like 2010 or 11.
Was it that late?
Say.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think there were. I mean, I've actually seen on like Netflix some like older horror movies that have Krampus in it or are centered around Krampus that came out before that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. But I don't know what they are.
I mean, it's fair that like before that, like everyone just assumed like the anti-Christmas was like the Grinch, you know?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, other than the Grinch, like.
Yeah, but the Grinch is redeeming. Krampus is not.
Yeah, exactly right. Like the Grinch, the story of the Grinch is he like redeems himself at the end. Mm-hmm.
Because his heart grew 3 sizes.
Yeah. And if I remember right, like
an enlarged heart is nothing to do with.
At least in the Jim Carrey movie, they did the origin story where he's just like an oddity of the town. Mm-hmm. Like he's actually supposed to be like of their race or
he's
something.
A who,
yeah, like he's a who, but like an odd who or whatever. Yeah.
That movie's dirty.
Yes.
The key party in the beginning.
Yes.
So like the first I watched that as an adult, like not like less than 5 years ago for the first time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is a kid's movie? What the hell?
Yeah.
Obviously, the kids aren't going to get it, but as an adult, I'm like, oh, that is naughty. Those who's are fucking.
There's a lot of little who's running around.
No.
I'm pretty sure, like, the one lady, the chick, I don't know her name at all, but the single gal.
Christine Baranski.
Yeah.
Who plays Sheldon's mom on Big Bang Theory. Or Leonard's mom on Big Bang Theory. Yep.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I mean, like, her whole role is, like...
Temptress.
Sex pot temptress. Yeah, it's
who the mayor's trying to get in.
Yeah, the mayor's trying to get after. Mm-hmm. And I think the whole storyline is like Jim Carrey liked her in school, and she kind of liked him. Mm-hmm. And yeah, just all that stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah. Anything else about Krampus before we move on to others? I mean,
the tongue gets me on the pictures. I'm just like, this. Okay, I'm gonna say it. I
haven't seen the pictures that you're looking at, but yeah, I kind of have
an idea.
It's actually interesting. The image that comes to mind is actually from a Magic the Gathering card called Chains of Mephistopheles or whatever, which is, again, I think more tied with Norse mythology.
Okay.
And like somebody being stuck in like a labyrinth or something like that, you know. But yeah, it's like goat head. Mm-hmm. Do the chains and kind of like a tongue, yeah, like a weird, like tongue hanging out of the mouth type of a thing, yeah.
So I have to say, in going through all this stuff, there's a lot of like repressed sexuality and like kinks. I feel like chains, punishments. I'm like, I think you're projecting a little bit on their little characters there.
Yeah, it's either projecting or it's
condemning.
No. I'm saying it's like born out of like characters born out of. You're saying characters are born out of the kink. I'm saying kinks are born out of the characters. I guess is what I'm saying.
Fair. Or people are just super repressed and they're like, you know, it'd be like so hot if we made this like half demon, half goat man that would like chain you up and smack you on the ass. And he's got a big tongue too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, yeah, it's
so hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of hysterical women in that time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they invented vibrators as a way to like help calm women down.
Yeah.
Which works.
Yeah, which is what I'm saying. Like, it's like you said, a lot of sexual repression happening going on here.
Yep. Well, let's talk next about Belsnickel.
Belsnickel?
Yes.
Is this Germanic again, or is this
yeah, he's like from different places. Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie, I had to include this one because of The Office. So,
okay.
I first heard about it on there, and it's like literally one of my favorite Christmas episodes of The Office.
Is it the puppet? I'm trying to remember.
No, so Dwight comes into the office dressed as Belsnickel and decides who has been impish and who has been admirable.
Okay.
And seriously, if you have not seen it, you have to watch it. We should watch it tonight because it's on Peacock.
I recall.
He's like, all dirty with like furs on and stuff.
Yeah.
Super funny.
Yeah.
But Belsnickel is actually not just a hilarious character that Dwight conjured up.
Yeah.
He is a grumpy man decked out in furs and raggedy clothes, and he's sometimes said to be sporting a mask with a long tongue. Again, there with a long tongue.
Yep.
Much like Krampus.
Yep.
Also like Krampus, Belsnickel would be known to whack naughty children with a switch.
Okay.
Yep. Spanking fetish, yep. The tradition of The tradition of Belsnickel made it to America via German immigrants who settled in Pennsylvania from the Palatinate region. Probably not saying that right.
Pollinate region?
No. Not pollinate. Palatinate region of... So the Palatinate region of Germany is the territory of German Empire ruled by the court Palatine of the Rhine.
Okay.
I have to say, while I was researching this, I kept wanting to say Palpatine.
Palpatine?
Yep. So thank you, Star Wars.
Yep.
But it makes sense that Dwight would know about this tradition because he's German and it's in Scranton, PA, and Dwight is German. So there you go.
Would be more well known, you would think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's super funny on the show. But Belsnickel also pops up in Nova Scotian and some Brazilian and Newfoundland cultures as well.
Okay.
Similar to Santa and Krampus, Belschnickel would instill fear of misbehaving among children. He was said to check on children in the weeks before Christmas and would announce his presence by tapping on the window with his large switch that he carried.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Children would need to sing a song or answer questions in order to appease Belschnickel. If he was satisfied with the children, he would throw candy, but if the child was too eager to get the candy, they would get whacked with a switch.
Okay.
Again, major punishment kink going on in these with these stories.
Was it like a little bit of like red light, green light?
Yeah, like
if you're moving while Belschnickel sees you, you get the switch.
Yeah, like he would toss out candy and like if you move too fast to get that piece of candy, you're gonna get your fucking ass whipped.
Yep.
Yeah. Very strange. Very strange.
And some kids are like, "Ew, I got my candy real quick, and I got a little spanking."
I've been naughty.
Yeah, it's like positive reinforcement for spankings.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
That's why
there's supposed to be negative reinforcement.
That's why there's a thing. People, you know, like some people like to be spanked.
Yep.
And some people really hate it.
Like 50 Shades, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So next on our list is Frau Perchta.
Again, Germanic, the Frau classic.
Yep, and she is hardcore.
Yeah.
Much like her terrifying counterparts, Frau is especially terrifying because she doesn't bother with the spankings or the, lump of coal.
Okay.
So she shows up in German, Austrian, Swiss, and other European folklore. She actually pops up in some Brothers Grimm tales and is said to be either a goddess or related to a goddess. And she is described as either very beautiful or very haggard and terrifying. Scary looking.
Okay.
Her MO includes slitting the stomachs of children who haven't behaved all year and stuffing their bellies with straw and stones. She also inflicts punishment on anyone who eats anything other than the traditional foods during her day of feast, which, according to Wikipedia, is fish and gruel.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's a bitch. Who wants to eat fish and gruel? Like, first off, if you want to slit my stomach, like, I don't know.
You're like, is that?
I'd take a spanking over having to eat fish and gruel. That might be only
slightly worse than eating fish and gruel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does sound very much like what is it? Is it Hansel and Gretel, the ones with the gingerbread, the witches' candy house? Mm-hmm. You know, like it feels very that.
Yeah.
Like the witch in the forest in a fairy tale. Mm-hmm. Yeah, or like folklore Grimm's fairy tales. Yeah.
Yep. So moving on to Iceland.
Okay. There's
a tale of a Yule cat.
A Yule cat. Okay.
Yeah. Which sounds cool, but it's not.
Okay. Yeah, because we're doing like weird. Mm-hmm. None of these are the happy ones.
No.
None of these are the happy ones.
I mean, depending on what makes you happy, maybe, but.
Yeah, depending on your kink, you're saying?
Yeah, depending on your kink.
But generally, in general.
Yep.
In general, these.
Not so nice.
Tend to be, the not so nice Christmas mythology.
Yep. So, the Yule cat.
Like a Christmas coyote?
No.
Dingo ate my baby!
I mean, it does eat children, apparently.
Yeah.
So, said to be the minion of an ogre-like creature called Gryla, who also has 13 minions, like sons that do different things throughout the holiday. I think it corresponds with like 12 Days of Christmas.
Yeah, I was going to say that sounds like Advent or 12 Days of Christmas, right?
So, the Yule cat stalks children in the town, eating any child who didn't receive a new piece of clothing for Christmas. Some of the things I saw said that only good kids get new clothes. So that would correspond with, if you got new clothes, that meant you good. So you
fucking capitalism.
I know, right?
Rich kids.
Even then,
rich kids equates to good kids.
Yep.
Fucking awful.
If a child fails to display a new piece of clothing, they are at risk of being devoured by this feisty feline. So the cat would roam through and it's a giant cat. It's not just like a regular cat. It's like a gymongous, like
more like a tiger or even bigger.
Yeah. Bigger than that.
Okay.
And it would
Toby
stop
has a new sock. Like...
It would literally roam the streets looking in like windows of children.
Fucking peepers.
I know! So much to say for like peeping Toms in these tales. But anyways, yeah. If you didn't see a new piece of clothing, you could get eaten by this giant cat.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, if this was me, I'd probably try to stay up and see this cat or be like, psst, 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 come here, I got some Friskies for you.
Yeah.
Or try to domesticate it.
Just make sure you got your new piece of clothing on, you know.
Yeah.
Again, yeah, it feels like it goes after the marginalized, like the kids. Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes what's the study of like cultures, like anthropology or something?
Anthropologic?
Like that, yeah.
I don't know.
It's like sometimes humans are just terrible.
You're the smart one in this relationship.
I was gonna say anthropomorphic, but I think that's like
animals
in the shape of humans.
I was gonna say I think a lot of these.
I think it's anthropology. I think anthropology is the study of like cultures.
Isn't that a store?
Anthropology?
And there's a store called Anthropology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like GIE. Why?
It's the Gap. General Anthropomone. I can't even say it again now.
Nope. Tongue-tied.
Yeah.
So there are also goblins and or trolls who exist within Greek, Bulgarian, Turkish, Serbian, Albanian, Bosnian, and Cyprus culture.
Okay, so this is another new one.
This is a new one.
Sorry,
yep. Sorry.
Yeah.
These little guys are called Calicatanzeros. Okay. I'm sure that's not even remotely
Calicatanzeros?
Yeah, it's like it looks like a Greek word. It's like Calicanzeros. Calicanzeros.
Calicanzeros. Okay.
And they actually kind of remind me of like elves or gremlins, you know?
Yep.
So they're said to emerge during the 12 days before Christmas. So again, 12 days before Christmas, the Advent, yada, yada, yada. And wreak havoc on families. So in Greek mythology, these creatures are said to live underground for most of the year, trying to bring on the collapse of the world and humanity by destroying the tree of life. Mm. When Christmas comes around, these guys give up on destroying the earth and are able to come to the surface to torment humans. And then after Christmas, they retreat back underground to start working on destroying the tree of life again. But the tree actually heals itself in those 12 days that they're up doing their thing.
Okay.
So then they have to start all over.
Okay.
They're not very smart. Like, if they just stayed underground, they could get it done.
They just kept harassing that tree of life.
Yeah, yeah. Like sawing on it, whatever, what have you.
Yeah.
They have been described in many different ways, anywhere from looking like small black devils, human and animal hybrids, so anthropomorphic.
Yep.
With features including those of donkeys, horses, and boars. Mm. They've also been described as fur-covered and either very large or very small in stature. Mm. There's a wide range of what these things
Sounds like it. Sounds like it.
But like the 12 days of Christmas and like, they come up and you can't, for some reason it just triggered like Gremlins in my mind.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a holiday movie too.
I was just going to say that's actually a really good holiday movie.
Around a Christmas movie.
Yeah, yeah. Because he gets it for like Christmas, doesn't he? It's been a long time since I watched that movie.
He either gets it for his birthday or for Christmas. Yeah, one of the two. Yeah, yeah. I think Gremlins is like around Christmas because I think it's snowy outside.
It is, and there's Christmas lights. I remember.
And Christmas lights and everything, which reminded me. How could I forget of the number one all-time Christmas movie, Die Hard? the age-old argument on what makes a Christmas movie, on whether is it just held at Christmas time, or is it like centered on the Christmas spirit?
I mean, technically the holiday could also fall in that category because it's not really about Christmas.
Yeah,
it just happens during Christmas.
Yep.
And I do watch that movie all year long, so
yeah.
I've never seen Die Hard.
The original Die Hard, it's got Alan Rickman in it.
I know. I've never seen it.
Plays Hans
Gruber, right? I knew that.
Hans Gruber.
Yeah. Doesn't he die in that movie?
Yeah, pretty famously at the end.
Falls off the building and he's like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen memes.
I think he goes to shoot Bruce Willis, or Bruce Willis like lets him go or something like that. I think it's one of those. Yeah.
We'll have to watch it.
Like, I've seen advent calendars of, like, Gruber falling. It's
like each door you open is him further down the way.
Well, it's not like a calendar. It's like the building and the floors, and it's like reverse count. So, like, on December 1st, he's at the top floor, which is 1, and then by Christmas he's
that's what I'm saying.
Dead on the ground.
Yeah.
There's no doors though, but I don't know if you get anything, but yeah, you're supposed to like have him fall all through December.
That's actually pretty funny.
I saw an ad for it, Did not buy it. I'm not that invested.
You're not that big of a Die Hard fan?
Yeah.
You could say you're not a Die Hard fan of Die Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't bought the Christmas ornament of Bruce Willis and the duct.
Oh, yeah.
little metal, like, square tube with just the picture of Bruce Willis, like, on the side. Yeah. I haven't, again, not a Die Hard fan. Yeah. Sorry, I totally forgot Die Hard to talk about Christmas movies that aren't really Christmas movies that everyone argues about.
Yeah. So last up.
Okay.
Yep. We have Perrier. It's not Pierre.
I was just like Perrier water.
It's like Pierre. It's like P-E-R-E.
P-E-R-E. Okay. Yeah.
Père Fouettard. I'm probably not saying that right at all. But this character mainly exists in French, Belgian, and Swiss cultures.
Okay.
The name Père Fouettard translates to...
You're probably go with Pierre, yeah.
Yeah. Father Whipper or Old Man Whipper.
Old Man Whipper.
And is pretty terrifying.
Okay.
He appears to be a henchman of Santa.
Okay.
Or assistant to the regional manager for all my Office fans out there.
Yeah. I was going to say, is he just the guy who whips the reindeer? Like, is that the idea?
No. Much darker.
Okay.
So, his origin story is basically... He is a murderer who, along with his wife, murdered and butchered wealthy children to steal their riches.
Okay.
Some versions say the couple also stewed the murdered children, which, gross. As the story goes, Saint Nick found out about the murders and brings the children back to life. And as a punishment, Pierre Fouettard is enslaved by Saint Nick as the punisher of naughty kids. Some versions of the story also paint Pierre as repentant, and he volunteers to be Saint Nick's partner as a penance.
Okay.
Either way, he gets to accompany Santa and punish all of the naughty kids by giving them lumps of coal and beating or whipping the ill-behaved kids. Now,
there's always this...
as a caveat,
it's like all these are
maybe he wasn't sorry and he
kids.
just volunteered to do this because he's a sadist and he wants to beat and whip children, right?
Well, I was gonna more make a joke about like Saint Nicholas, like, fan of your work. I like the way you did there. You stewed them kids.
Gross.
Like,
oh shit. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like it's.
I mean, I think we can both agree throughout all of these stories, Santa employs some questionable characters to assist him with the children.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
He's a creep. I think it just further paints that Santa is a creep.
It's very weird that like all these cultures feel the need to have like the dark side to the like good side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the yin to the yang, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It's like we can't just have a guy giving gifts to the good kids. Like
there has to be something to like really drive home the if you're bad, something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like the whole time it was just your parents.
Yeah. Fucking
just like Santa Claus. Oh, hopefully nobody's
Please don't let your kids listen to this if they listen to Santa. They literally should not be listening to this podcast regardless, but
yep. Spoilers that Santa's not real for Patreon people only. Bonus content.
Yeah. Now, according to Wikipedia, which I had to include this because I'm immature and it made me laugh.
Wikipedia's Yeah.
Yeah. You may know him as his other names, which are Father Flog or Spanky.
Father Flog.
Or Spanky.
Spanky. Yeah.
He is described as a robed figure. He sports a long, kind of mangy beard, looks pretty disheveled.
Okay.
Ragged. You know, like a dirty streetwalker.
So like a bad mall Santa.
Yeah. Kind of probably smells of booze and stale cigarettes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, right? Because it's like Santa Claus is like the red suit. Like, you don't think of it as dingy other than like bad Santa. It's like it's like super red. All the whites are super white. Like,
which is very attractive to children.
Belts, you know, is like
bright colors.
Yeah, it's like everything's polished. You know, like yeah.
Santa's disgusting.
If he's signed on to Spanky here, you know, so.
Hey, I got the perfect job for you, okay? Listen. Right. You get to spank kids.
Yep.
Or whip them.
Yep.
And people will call you Spanky. You in?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch, I'm in.
I know, right? Exactly.
So these are just a few examples of some weird Christmas lore. And there's many more. Yeah. There's like one in Wales that, I can't remember what it was, but these are just weird. And did you know that it used to be a big tradition to like tell ghost stories on Christmas Eve or Christmas?
I don't think I knew that one.
Yeah. I think we should do that. Now, these all sound horrible, and it seems like a really weird way to keep your kid in line.
Yeah.
But hey, makes for some good stories, right? And they're fascinating to look into just how weird people and history can be. Because we're all weird now, but it came from somewhere. Like, that shit was passed on genetic through, like, years and years and years.
Storytelling,
yeah.
Weird.
Everybody's weird.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what to think on this, right? Because, like, I don't know. It's like I feel like definitely some of these stories are, like, just based on reality. Mm-hmm. Like, and stories people tell their kids, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's just so weird, like.
Of all the things you could lie to your kids about.
Well.
Why did that come into your mind?
Yeah, I mean. It's probably just, like. Back in the day, people beat their kids. Like, it wasn't even, like, a thing, you know? Like, there was. Like, I feel like the whole, like, non-corporal punishment.
Yeah.
Is, like, a more newer thing.
And to be fair, some people still beat their kids.
Some people still beat their kids. That's what I'm saying. But like,
which we joke about all this, but we are very much not.
Yeah, please
do not condone that at all. Like, it's funny to joke about in this sense of like that's what they told people would happen, but we are very much not good with that type of thing.
Well, yeah, I guess that's what I'm really wondering about is like the. Like, even if it's just, like, a story one time, like, why does it perpetuate? Why does it go on to the next generation and the next generation?
And
like, that's what I think makes me a little more... Huh?
Like, how do all these people know and believe it? Because it's so widespread. Like, yeah, I agree.
It's so widespread. It's so, like, similar. Mm-hmm. Like, each culture has something that's kind of...
Yeah.
About the same, you know?
Yeah, like Belsnickel and Krampus are very closely related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, even the Whipper guy, right? Like, it's like...
The whippersnapper.
Yeah, the whippersnapper.
Spanky.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the chains lacerating kids. Like, that's very... Yeah, it's like Spanky's whips. Didn't the witch lady have, like, whips, too, or something?
No, she slit their bellies.
She slit their bellies. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She was the only real oddity, which is and interesting because like all the others are men. She was like the only woman. Mm-hmm.
I think there's a witch in Wales that is also it's like something lied or that is also a female, but I can't quite remember.
Yeah, and I could very easily like definitely like witches and like like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You have the witch. There's. Like, even in our, like, modern times, I mean, like, Little Mermaid, the Ursula, the sea witch, right? Like, there's it's still in our culture. Like these stories are still in our culture. You know?
Yeah.
And so it's just interesting.
Yeah, because like the Little Mermaid's a grim tale.
Yeah. I think it was, like the original was much more.
Disney took some liberties with that to make it a little bit more child friendly because it's not really.
Yeah, a little more palpable. Because mermaids, like historically, were like sea stories for sailors. Like why'd they jump in? Oh, a mermaid entranced them, you know. And it's like Jim Bob didn't like Joe Bob, and he threw him overboard and lied about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or they would talk about the like siren's call. You know, mermaids. Like it's totally a thing for like. I mean, but also like sailors back in the day, like all the maps had like sea monster. You know what I mean? Like there's so many like things that are like.
I feel like it was so easy to get away with crime back in the day because you're like, you know what? A siren called him. He jumped off. I never saw him again.
Right.
And then people would just not question it. Like, oh, well, shit, that sucks, man.
Yep.
No, all right. Well, be careful. Don't listen to those siren calls.
Right.
Like, people are like, you know what? A werewolf came through and totally snatched my kid.
Yeah.
Sucks, but, you know, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
And it's like, man, we should try to hunt that werewolf. I think it went off in the back 40 out there. The person that goes to hunt it also ends up getting killed by the werewolf. And... Right. Yeah.
Look at these tracks, you know.
You can see where it turned into a human because look at those footsteps. They almost look like a man's.
Yep.
Yeah. So
they start to lead back to your house. Oh, why are you stabbing me? Stop. Why are you stabbing? You know, it's just...
What are you going to do? Stab me? Stab me!
This is like, oh, man. Yeah, it's...
I think it was so easy to get away with shit back in the day. Like, literally.
I think people were so preoccupied with just, like, survival somewhat. They're like, it's like you didn't...
Yeah.
Like, again, only until more recently modern times were probably, like, police a thing, you know what I mean? Like, the fact that, like, hey, you know, we shouldn't just let people get away with everything. Like, it's the Wild West, you know? It's like...
Even now you have people that try to, you know, they make up a fake name for a nanny who then kidnapped their child and they didn't report it for 31 days.
Yeah. How about Casey Anthony? People just make stuff up as a story to get away with bad shit that they did.
Yeah. And it was so like, easy to get away with it back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many stories about like witches stealing children, you know what I mean? It's just, it's like bad kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, it's just, again, it's interesting to me. Similar stories. Like you said, a lot of them are European. So Europe, like, it's very easy for us as Americans to think of like, Germany, and assume it's like large swath of land, like not connected to France, these other places. You know what I mean? Like Europe is, if I remember right, like Europe is like the size of like North America. Like North America is way bigger than just Europe. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like our states are like their countries almost.
I was gonna say, I've seen people talk about like, you know, it's so crazy when you come to America that you can drive for like 15 hours and still be in the same state. Whereas if you do that in Europe, you're in 5 different countries in one day.
Yeah. Depending on which countries you go through, you could do that.
Yeah.
And so it's like it makes sense that there are French stories that are similar to German stories that are similar to Austrian, Italian, Spain. You know, I mean, like
people get married, the stories kind of start blending together. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, again, it's all like, I think a lot of those origins are like verbal stories, you know, and then they make it to getting written down at some point, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's just interesting. It's interesting to me that now, like, our storytelling is more visual now. It's like, like, people still write books, but, like,
or
movies.
They have podcasts about it.
Or they have podcasts about it, right? But it's like, I mean, our podcast is just a version of, like, oral stories.
And I'm a big fan of oral, so.
Yeah.
Oral stories. I got you good, fucker.
You did. Yeah. Put that one in the main episode.
Big fan.
Put that in the main episode. Yeah. But yeah. So in my mind, it makes sense that like, yeah, you then have movies made.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't. Again, still skeptical. I don't really believe any of it. You know, it's like,
nah.
I found out Santa really wasn't a thing. What grade was I in? Like 3rd, 4th grade. It was definitely before 6th grade.
Yeah.
I have an older brother. So.
And I'm the youngest of 3 kids.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So I'm a little interested in like when you found out Santa wasn't real. You know, it's like so my story was Jack snooped or something like that. And from what I remember, it was like Andy was getting a My Pet Monster. So that probably like you could zero in on an age. Mm-hmm. Like, so I'm thinking it's like 86, 87, 88 maybe, right? Like late 80s. Mm-hmm. Andy's getting a My Pet Monster. It's a massive toy.
Okay.
Up in the closet of our parents' bedroom. Mm-hmm. And like Jack, I don't know if he showed it to Andy. Andy might have been really young. But he showed it to me. And then Andy got it for Christmas that year. From Santa.
Oh.
Right? So that's like the thing. Mm-hmm. And then I think it was like between 6th and 8th grade when we snooped again. Like snooped. I think we found our Christmas presents that year too.
See, and you tell me I'm bad for snooping.
Well, I think after having those Christmases and like ruining some of the surprise, like that's why I'm like I don't think I really snooped after that because it was kind of like like I remember realizing Santa wasn't real.
Yeah.
And then the year when like I knew almost all of my presents, like what I was getting, and then like opening it was just like whatever, you know what I mean? Like it was So then after that, it's like it's like part of the gift is the surprise, as long as you're not a shit like I was that time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, what about you? When did
I don't know how
stories like this.
I don't know how old I was. I'm pretty sure I was fairly young because my great grandma, we were like at Christmas and she was still there, and she died when I was like, before I was in like 4th grade. Okay. So she said to me, like I said something about I made a list for Santa, and she's like, you don't still believe in Santa. You're too old to believe in Santa. He's not real. Oh. And that's how I...
Straight bubble burst, huh?
Which my sisters had said stuff before, but I was like still trying to like, no, I don't think my parents would lie to me. Yeah. Yeah.
I see people share that, like, I don't know if it's a newer thing or if it's like been around, but people are like, quit telling your kids like these gifts are from Santa. Like they should understand that it comes from you, the parents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't give credit to some like fake character that is like, really, you shouldn't. In my mind, I wouldn't want my kids to believe in Santa because, again, creepy. Like, you're not going to go sit on Santa's lap. You're not going to do whatever. Like, why should some, fake character get credit for your gifts? Yeah. I agree with that.
And when I was growing up, Santa's gift was, like, the best gift.
Oh, see?
So we had that tier, like, of where, like, you were grateful for what your parents got you, but, like, you really loved Santa's gift. It was, like, Santa's gift was the all-star. Mm-hmm. And it was, like... Again, like so now I'm more in the camp of like how many times did I not thank my parents? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like sure, like I think only one time was it like did they get us good with like it was we all got sleds that year, and we were like at my grandparents' house, and they were like, oh, I think Santa came, and it was like they put the sleds outside like under a tree or something, and they were like, oh, I think there's something out there, like, you know, and I don't know, I'm trying to think of like one of my uncles had like made tracks in the snow, supposedly, one of those, you know? Yeah, but again, it was like probably because like I'm pretty sure by that point, like, I knew Santa wasn't real, but, like, maybe Andy still was young enough, you know, to believe my little brother, so.
Well, see, our gifts from Santa were the stockings.
Yeah.
Like, all of our gifts.
Smaller gifts.
So, like, like, the candy, the coloring books, you know, the things that could fit in your stockings. So, we always opened our presents Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And then when we got up in Christmas morning is when we opened our stockings. And that was from Santa.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we would get full gifts, like, you know, it'd be like the Nintendo was from Santa, or like, I mean, like full on like
Santa, man.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of that's why like now I'm like, I wonder how. Like,
that's gonna feel so bad as a parent. Like, I just spent all this money, and these little shits are like thinking an imaginary character,
right? Yeah, like I honestly don't know, like how that. Yeah.
Well,
which is why I'm saying I'm more in the vein of this new idea of like,
why should
quit telling your kids that like these presents are from Santa, like they should understand, like
our kids know that the presents are from us.
Yeah. Well, there's also
and by kids I mean our cats.
Yeah, and then there's also the issue of like again the wealth disparity, right? Like, if Santa gives good gifts to every kid who's good, then why doesn't the poor kid get
fair
gifts like the, you know,
like
the rich kid?
That's
the rich kid's getting like a PS4 and from Santa. Like, even if everyone's like, Santa's real, like when you're little, it's like, oh, I got like my video game system, and the poor kid's like, I got like $1, you know, or you know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to, it's like, I got a coloring book from Santa, you know, it's like,
which is so sad, because that's like, you know, it probably as a kid, like, you're like, oh, well, I'm obviously not that good because I didn't get that from Santa.
Right, yeah, and so again, it equates poorness with badness and goodness with richness, or smarts with rich, you know, there's just so much stuff about
fucking patriarchy.
Like our patriarchy, capitalism, like our systems that like drive me mad sometimes. Oh yeah. You know, on like when you boil it down to its essence, terrible.
Yeah.
You know,
human beings are just the worst at times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as always. Please help us out by rating and reviewing our show. Don't forget to subscribe, download, like our show on whatever platform you're listening to.
Missed opportunity. It should have been like, rate us high or Santa will give you coal, you know.
Yeah, if you don't give us a 5-star rating and write a nice review, Krampus is going to come whip your ass.
Yep. Santa's gonna send Spanky if you don't subscribe.
Well, don't say that, because some people might want Spanky to come around, okay?
A lot of S's there. I was trying to do the alliteration. Yeah.
All of these things help us become more visible to more people and help us grow our show, which we really like doing this and we want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Help us out by sharing us with friends, family, social media, strangers on the street, all the things. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter for now, again. Also, check out our website, which is creepycascadiapod.com, or you can shoot us an email at admin@creepycascadiapod.com. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week with another creepy Christmas tale. And yeah, we hope y'all have a good week, and watch out for any weirdos that want to come in and spank you or whip you or look at your windows.
Yeah, I was going to say, after you listen to the episode, go back on to whatever social media site you're on, you know, put a gif of your favorite Christmas movie.
Oh, yeah, you guys should definitely pop on our Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. Well, I don't think you can do it on TikTok. But, yeah,
We want to interact with the community. You know, we want to hear back from you guys. You know?
I'm going to put up a post so you'll actually see this post before you hear the episode. But that's a good idea, babe. I love that. I'm going to do that. But anyways, we'll be back next Wednesday. We hope everybody has a good week. Don't forget to get your shopping in because, you know, Christmas is all about capitalism.
Oh, my God. The mall was so crazy, you said.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely going to be utilizing the online platforms and home delivery.
Oh, yeah.
Because the one thing I need you to get from the mall, you can go get. So.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Have a creepy week, and we will see you guys all next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.